spin, we start to drive. Monday night, the stars collide. On the dirt where dreams reside. Round and round, the dirt flies high. Street stocks racing touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Heartbeats pound and gravel flies. In the dust where legends rise. No surrender, sparks will fly. On this track we testify. Tail to tail we never tire. Burning rubber, hearts on fire. Lap by lap we will inspire. Victory, our one desire. Round and round the dirt flies high. Street stocks racing touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Mud and sweat mixed with the stars. In our souls these racing scars. Feel the rush, the endless bars. On this dirt track we are stars.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening with the beautiful Dirt Street Stocks here live with the Monday Night All-Stars, the Dirt Clash Super Street Series, ready to rock and roll here from the wonderful dirt track here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as these drivers are ready to go to battle. They are ready to duke it out here this evening. We got a lot of laps and a lot of racing here this evening for the beautiful Monday Night All-Stars, and all these drivers ready to jump out there and go to battle here this evening as we are going to jump right into the action here, ladies and gentlemen, right into all the fun here this evening as qualifying is underway. These drivers out there on the racetrack, they're going to lay down their quick times here, their possibility of the quick time here this evening to try to set themselves up for a wonderful night of racing action. As Fred Edwards Jr., my boy Freddie, coming in showing the love, says it's time to get it on. Yes, Sirski, it is time to get it on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, take your Viagra because it is definitely time to get it on here this evening. Dave Morgan with the heart reaction, Cody McCoy with the like and the share, Fred Edwards Jr. coming in with that like and the share on the broadcast as well, and Mama Bear Susie Dickinson coming in with that heart reaction, coming in with the big love here in this one as we're going to get ready to rock and roll. Mama Bear says, hello, my boy Aaron. Hello, Mama Bear. How are you, my girl? How are you tonight? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Monday as we get ready to set these drivers loose. We get ready to go to battle here in this one. Qualifying slowly but surely coming to a close here. Drivers out there on the racetrack. See Dakota Proud in the beautiful green machine here this evening. Proud there in the third spot here on the time charts, but it is the 09 of Michael Olsen with the quick time here in qualifying. So a great lap and a great speed here for that 09 machine. Unfortunately, the top four in these heat races will invert here. So Michael Olsen, quickest in qualifying, will start in position number 4 here in our first heat race of the evening, as we're going to jump right in to our heat race action here this evening. Nelson Johns coming in showing the love with the like on the stream, and Amy Marie Stefanski coming in with that heart reaction here in this one. Steven Stefanski with the like on the stream. Garrett Sperry coming in with that heart reaction, as well as Evan Stefanski, Jeremy Sexton, Matt Taylor, all coming in, showing the big love here in this one as well. Michael, Bruce, whatever your name is, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Let's just get rid of that guy, honestly. We're just going to ban from stream. Yep, see you later. See ya. As Mama Bear says, come on, Jim Revis, Amy Marie Stefanski says, Stefanski boys, let's roll, baby. As Nelson says, time to sling dirt. Hope you had a good day, Aaron. I had an amazing day here. As heat race number 1 about to get ready to rock and roll. And starting on the pole in the number 54 machine, that is Jeremy Kolba. To his outside in the 20 ride, that is the beautiful new looking paint scheme here for the Sexton's paint and body doghouse chassis number 2020. That is Jeremy Sexton there in second. Starting in position number 3 in the Malum Electric Motor Sales, it is the 71 of William Hargraves there in that third spot. To his outside will be the 57 of Jim Revis, I do believe. No, it's actually going to be the 09 ride of Michael Olson. These drivers are all mixed up here, ready to rock and roll, ready to go green flag racing. We do see Jacob Sexton right there. We do see Jim Revis, Charles Minders, Michael Olson, Jackie Whaley bringing up the rear of the field here. Looks like everyone's going to try to follow in line here. A little bit of a broken up first start of the evening, as out in front, Jeremy Kolba will see that green flag fly. So Kolba out in front as Hargraves and Sexton work the inside lane. Jeremy trying to work himself up and into position number 2 here as he rolls the outside lane. See the 71H of Hargraves down low trying to work that car on that bottom lane of the Speedway. Unfortunately, he's going to lose position number 2 to that 2020 ride. And I do believe our top 3 will transfer here. Everybody else will go to our consolation race. So now Hargraves is in that hot seat right now. He knows he needs to hang on to position number 3 here on the Speedway to not put himself into a consolation race. Things are getting tight here as the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton and that 71H ride made a little bit of contact down the front straightaway. The 71H got up into the outside fence, and right there behind him is another 2020 as Hargraves is stuck in the middle of a Sexton sandwich here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Here comes that 57 of Jim Remis right there, ready to pounce. Michael Olson, our quickest in qualifying, working the inside lane. A new look-in paint scheme here for the Tommy Gun Custom 09 ride, as well as Olson rolling here in position number 5 on the Speedway. You'll slot right there in front of the iRacing iFlag DWR, number 57 of Jim Remis. Charles Minders there in 7th, and Jackie Whaley in the DWR iRacing iFlag 720 ride here at the rear of the field. But it's Jeremy Kolba doing a great job here at the front of the field. He's going to keep himself at the point here, trying to hang on to this race win, but a slight jump right there from the 2020. Jeremy Sexton looking to jump up and take this race lead away, and here comes Hargraves. A big run, though, to the outside for Jeremy Sexton. He was able to get that outside lane in. There you go. He will make that pass, and we get a new race leader here in heat race number 1. Jeremy Sexton now to the point here in this heat race is Jeremy Kolba. They're in position number 2, and we see Jim Revis up into the outside fence. Looks like him and Michael Olson making some contact, and unfortunately for these two drivers, they are going to end up in the wall here. Heavy damage for that number 57 ride as Revis gets in there and unfortunately just gets a piece of him, spins him around as we do see that white flag fly is down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. It's the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton picking up heat race win number 1. William Hargraves there in second, and Jeremy Kolba in that third and final position here. They will punch their ticket to the A main feature event, meaning Jacob Sexton, Charles Minders, Michael Olson, Jackie Whaley, and Jim Revis will all be going to our consolation races. It's only, once again, top 3 will transfer through to our A main feature event. Everybody else will go to that consi here this evening, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go. Heat race number 2 getting loaded into the sim. Each and every one of them looking for the win here in this one. Nelson John says, come on, Grumpy, put them boys to sleep, as Fred Edwards says, let's go, boys, let's go, baby. Mama Bear cheered on Jim Revis out there and William Hargraves there in heat race number 1, as Jeremy Sexton says, horrible qualifying attempt, brother. Horrible qualifying attempt. You were able to pick up heat race win number 1. What in the world are we even talking about here in this one? Dave Morgan says, let's go Sexton. Cheered on all the Sexton boys here this evening, and we're going to get ready to see another one as Johnny Nolan with the like on the stream. Rob Stefanski, Jeff Brown, Scott Spees all coming in with the thumbs up. Alan Peters coming in with the like on the stream, as well as Nelson Johns with that thumbs up as well. Tina Sexton with the heart reaction, and Garrett Sperry coming in, showing the big love here in this one, dropping that follow on the stream here. Garrett, welcome to the Peacemaker family, welcome to the Peacemaker crew, smashing that follow button here this evening. As Johnny Nolan says, let's go DWR and Mr. Jackson, number 8 out there on the Speedway. We're going to get ready to see Mr. Jackson here in this one, as it's Matt Taylor who will bring us down to the green flag. Philip Sexton, there it is outside. The 33 of Dylan Simmons and Tyler Jackson there in row number 2. And then we see a pair of triple numbers. It's the 134 of Jason Zilmer, the 116 of Evan Stefanski. Charles Davis bringing up the rear of the field, and Steven Stefanski not out there on the racetrack here for heat race number 2. And we already see a little bit of contact as Philip Sexton out in front will lead lap number 1. Last week's winner, Matt Taylor, up there into position number 2, with Taylor looking to try to put himself into another great position here in this evening's feature event. He's trying to hang on to this second spot. He knows there's a couple fast cats right here down to his inside, and one of those being Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack in the Black Diamond Mafia, but Jules A Speed Shop 5.6 graphics, number 8 ride, rolling that inside lane to perfection. He's battling door to door here with the 15 of Matt Taylor, as Taylor in the Peacemaker Racing Team, Jules A Speed Shop 618 engraving, number 15 ride out there on the Speedway, hanging out here in position number 3 now, as T-Jack able to clear him and take that second spot away. Dylan Simmons here in the white knuckle Throttle Down Motorsports number 33 ride finds himself on the outside of the top 3, and he is on the outside of a transfer spot looking in, as here comes that Steve's Lawn Care 116 of Evan Stefanski trying to reel him in here as well, as the Sunrise Racing ride rolling the inside lane. Here comes Jason Zilmer in the VP Racing 344 ride, and Charles Davis there in the Mazda Racing number 50. We do see Muscles getting out onto the racetrack as well, the Sunrise Racing. Steve's Lawn Care number 15 does join the field here, still on the lead lap, but would need a caution flag to try to catch up to the rear of the field, as currently he's about 10 seconds behind our 7th place driver, and not too far in front of our race leaders for himself right now, as out in front the Tommy Gun Customs Mad Dog here himself. It is that Doghouse Racing number 2020 of Philip Sexton at the front of the field. T-Jack, Tyler Jackson there in position number 2, with Matt Taylor in that third and final transfer spot here in our second heat race of the evening. Can Taylor make it back to back here by parking this 15 ride up in victory lane, or do we see another driver find their way into the Cedar Lake Speedway victory lane here this evening? Philip Sexton looking primed as the white flag has been displayed. So for the final time, down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4, heat race number 2 is going to go to Philip Sexton. Tyler Jackson there in second. Matt Taylor coming home in that third and final transfer spot, with Dylan Simmons, Evan Stefanski, Jason Zilmer, Charles Davis, and Steven Stefanski rounding out our top 8 there in heat race number 2, as we'll get ready to rock and roll here with heat race number 3 in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we're going to get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, heat race number 3, about to roll out onto the speedway. And starting on the pole in the number 9 ride, it is the Rhino Welding Team CFM Esports number 9 ride of Corey Sibley. There in that pole position. To his outside in the DWR number 57 is Jeremy Akins. Starting in position number 3 in the 32 is the Sunrise Racing Throttle Down Motorsports number 32 of Jacob Stefanski. To his outside, that's his teammate. There in the 19 is Dakota Proud in the Throttle Down Motorsports number 19. Then we see the 4K of Ryan Howard, Russell Harold in the 019 there to his outside, and Cameron Stefanski in the Steve's Landscaping Sunrise Racing number 2 ride there in position number 7 as we're going to get ready to rock and roll here in heat race number 3. I do believe this is our third and final heat race of the evening, so these drivers, knowing that this is potentially the last opportunity that they're going to get here through these heat races to punch their way into the A main. No one wants to be in that consolation race. We've already figured out our first 10 drivers into the consi. Who's going to join them here in this one, and who's going to punch their ticket straight on through to our A main feature event. Corey Sibley out in front here will lead lap number 1 around Cedar Lake Speedway. Jacob Stefanski right there into position number 2 is Jeremy Akins trying to work back down to his inside. Akins slides back to position number 3, and now on the hot seat is there still door to door back there for position number 4. Looks like the 19 ride going to pull ahead ever so slightly down the front straightaway, but then kind of getting blocked right here in behind that 57 ride. They almost go 3 wide, a little contact there between the 19 of Dakota Proud and that 4X ride of Ryan Howard. Howard still trying to work down to the inside of him as here comes Cameron Stefanski trying to work that PJNFP machine up in towards the front of the top 5 here, seeing if he can work himself into our A main feature event. But it's Corey Sibley at the front of the field right now, showing these drivers how to get it done. Right there at his tire tracks is that 32 of Jacob Stefanski, and we see this battle continuing to brew. The number 57 of Jeremy Akins in that third and final transfer spot has the 19 right of Dakota Proud, and Ryan Howard right there behind him trying to hunt him down in a quick hurry out here on the speedway. But that time around, the 57 right able to give himself a little bit of breathing room. A couple car lengths now between himself and that 19 right as Dakota Proud seems like 3 and 4. He just gets up a little bit too high, a little bit out of the racing groove, but unfortunately that's been hurting him the last couple laps around the speedway. It's opened up the door for the 4X of Ryan Howard to take a peek down low and underneath of him. Now you do see that 19 ride taking that little bit more of a lower shallow entry there into quarter number 3, and he was able to gain a little bit of ground there over that 57 of Jeremy Akins. But out in front, it's all Corey Sibley. Sibley continuing to lead the way here in the Sweet Victory Apparel Majula Say Speed Shop number 9 right as Jacob Stefanski back there behind him in position number 2. Jeremy Akins there in that third and final transfer spot, looking to punch his ticket into the A main feature event as we do see that white flag fly. So one more time around for the 9 right as the Dirty Rhino Welding number 9 machine of Corey Sibley out in front. He'll head down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. Corey Sibley will pick up heat race win number 3 here on the evening. Jacob Stefanski there in second. Jeremy Akins in that third and final transfer spot. They will punch their ticket into the show as Proud, Howard, Cameron Stefanski, and Russell Harold will all go to our consolation race. And that's exactly what we're going to hop into right now. These drivers coming right out of that heat race, right back onto the racetrack here. They're going to get a few more laps to try to work themselves into the show. So here you go. Starting on the pole in our B main, it is the 2020 ride of Jacob Sexton. To his outside in the 33, that is Dylan Simmons, and then down inside of row number 2, it's the 19 of Dakota Proud. To his outside is that 66 of Charles Minders. Then we see Ryan Howard in the 116 of Evan Stefanski there in row number 3. Our pole sitter here this evening, quickest in qualifying, the Tommy Gunn Customs number 9 ride of Michael Olson will start here in 7th, and Jason Zilmer will start to his outside. Cameron Stefanski back there in 9th with Jackie Whaley rounding out our top 10. Charles Davis, Russell Harold, Jim Revis, Steven Stefanski going to round out our field of 24 drivers. And I do believe, yes, all 14 cars on the Speedway will punch their ticket into our A main feature event. So this is nothing but starting position on the line here. If you can win this consolation race, you can start there in the 10th position. Get yourself a little closer to the front of the field. Give yourself a little less work here throughout the evening, but could put you into a dangerous position, as right there, we see these drivers, mid-pack. It's a dangerous place out there. There's a lot of beating and banging, a lot of battling. And right now, that 2020 ride of Jacob Sexton trying to keep himself out in front and away from the rest of the field is Dakota Proud back there in position number 2. Dylan Simmons there in 3rd as here you go. Evan Stefanski right there as well, as we do see Charles Minders already running into issues here in the 66 ride. Looks like he was blinking there quite a bit. Let's take a look here and see what happens to the 66 ride on our opening lap. We do see the caution flag fly as some contact between him and the 9 ride off of corner number 2 there. Unfortunately, he's just going to go around right here. That's a tough break for that 66 is him and the 9 of Michael Olson going to come together right there. That's going to send the 66 down the racetrack. He's going to get a piece of the 4X rider Ryan Howard there as well. Nowhere to go for Howard as he gets into him. Help him go around. He gets hard into that inside wall here at Cedar Lake Speedway. That stacks things up right in front of these guys as everyone trying to keep themselves pointed in the right direction. Michael Olson, one of those drivers, he's off the gas, he's off the throttle right here after making that contact, and everyone trying to avoid running over that 9 machine. And some pretty good damage out there for a few of those drivers, but we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing as Jacob Sexton continues to lead the way here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Fred Edwards says, do you guys ever see any lockdown tracks? Lockdown tracks as in like bottom lane? I mean, I would say Knoxville potentially is one of those one of those lockdown tracks on the bottom side. I would say maybe, probably Knoxville, Williams Grove. A couple of those racetracks are really locked down on the bottom side of the Speedway here in this one. As they definitely had some pretty crazy exits here off of corner number 1 at Cedar Lake, man. And we haven't seen all of them yet. We're going to see guys launch themselves into the pits there off of corner number 1, just like the base truck right there as we go back to green flag racing. Jacob Sexton out in front. Sexton leading the way here in this one as Dakota Proud hanging on to position number 2, but he's got his teammate right there to his inside. It's Dylan Simmons in position number 3 here on the Speedway. Cameron Stefanski there in 4 with Ryan Howard. Evan Stefanski, Charles Davis, so 3 wide down the back straightaway. 3 wide for these drivers to duke it out here in this one. And some contact, beating and banging, bouncing around. Heavy damage to the front end of the 720 ride of Jackie Whaley. Whaley gonna unfortunately slide all the way back to the rear of the field as he was pinballed down in through corner number 1 and 2. Heavy damage, now missing the front bumper there, and we're going to see more action here as drivers stacked up on the front straightaway. And I do believe the caution flag gonna come back out here. No caution flag as of yet. Everyone able to get their cars pointed back in the right direction. Looked like Evan Stefanski, Cameron Stefanski collected in that one as Cameron Stefanski stopped here on the Speedway, and there is the caution flag. And it is going to fly here, and unfortunately for Charles Davis, he drives right into him. Let's take a look back and see what happens as that yellow flag comes out for the second time here in our consolation race. Looks like the 4X getting a little loose there, washes up the racetrack, and unfortunately, as he does, nowhere to go here as the Sunrise Racing Steve's Lawn Care number 2 ride here on the outside lane's going to get tagged right here in that left rear, and he's going to go around. Unfortunately, both drivers going to come down the racetrack into Evan Stefanski's. A pair of Stefanski's get collected here in this one, but look at Steven Stefanski somehow make it through that. You do see Jim Revis pretty heavy be damage there for himself as drivers going around, and he is a big piece there of that 4X of Ryan Howard. And then we're going to see this number 2 in the 116. Looks like the 116 is going to get pointed back in the right direction, gets turned around. Now we see the 2 ride trying to do the same thing. Unfortunately, he's sideways right here in front of our leaders, and oh man, our race leader getting a piece of that one. Jacob Sexton unfortunately getting into that 2 machine as well on the front straightaway, and Charles Davis also getting a big piece of him right there. That is a tough break as our race leader, Jacob Sexton, coming out of quarter number 4 here, just trying to keep himself out of this trouble. Unfortunately, he is going to run out of room here as we'll have to play this around a whole lap here and take a look at what happens as out of quarter number 4. He does not expect to see a car parked here in the middle of the speedway, and unfortunately, as he comes out of the corner, he's got no choice, and unfortunately thought maybe he could get to the outside groove right there. Unfortunately, did not have enough room as we go back to green flag racing. Out in front now, leading the way here as the number 2020 ride of Jacob Sexton there had to get onto the binders to avoid contact with that number 2. He unfortunately loses that top spot, and it's now the number 19 of Dakota Proud out in front as the white flag has been displayed. So one more time around the speedway here for our B main. Down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4, it's gonna be Dakota Proud with the B main win. Jacob Sexton there in second. The 33 of Dylan Simmons there in third. Jason Zilmer, Steven Stefanski, Jim Revis, Michael Olsen, Charles Minders, Jackie Whaley, Ryan Howard, our top 10 on the speedway. Then we see Cameron Stefanski, Evan Stefanski, Russell Harold, and Charles Davis bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. Luckily enough for all those drivers that ran into issues here in this B main consolation race, they're all going to make it into the show. That was just for starting position and, being able to, get ready to rock and roll here. They were out there getting a little bit of extra practice in, basically running some laps, realizing what they need to do or what they don't need to do in our feature event, and also battling there for a better starting position. Unfortunately for a lot of drivers running into issues there in that heat race, they'll be starting deep in the field. Their night is not over. They're going to get another attempt to redeem themselves here in this feature event as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to rock and roll, ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one as drivers going to jump out onto the racetrack here. A quick warm-up session. We see a pair of 9s battling door-to-door out there on the racetrack already. That's Corey Sibley and the 9 rider Michael Olsen. Olsen has had 0 luck here since picking up that top spot in our qualifying session. He was able to be the fastest car out there in qualifying. Unfortunately, though, being into that 4th position on the heat race, got into some issues there, started a little bit deeper, and unfortunately could not make his way through that heat race to a transfer spot. Even though he was quickest in qualifying, could not transfer through, but then comes to the B main, runs into some more issues right out of the get-go, getting a piece of one of the other drivers, spinning them around, getting that EOL sent to the back of the pack. But we will see this 9 ride back in action here at our A main feature event, ready to duke it out, ready to go to battle here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're going to get ready to go green flag racing with our A main feature event in just a few more moments. Jeremy Sexton said, well, worked out well. It definitely worked out well for you now. As going to be a tough race with a lot of fast guys behind me. That'll be coming for the front. Pretty neat to have a Sexton front row. Little brotherly love coming right up. Laugh out loud. Let's go, brother. I like to see that. I like to see that. A pair of Sextons on the front row. That's going to make things very, very interesting here in this feature event. As Brett Edwards says, good job, Jacob Sexton. A great job there by Jacob Sexton. Should have probably had that B main win. Unfortunate contact there with the 2 ride. But still coming home. Solid second place run there in that B main. Will set himself up for a decent showing here in our A main feature event. As John Belando coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast. Fred Edwards Jr. coming in with another share as well. As Carolyn Faye Culpepper coming in Culpepper Edwards coming in with the like on the stream. Jacob Stefanski with the heart reaction and the share on the stream. Brandon Van Houten, William Hargraves, Johnny Nolan all coming in with those thumbs up on the broadcast as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments. These drivers ready to rock and roll as our A main going to come right at you here in a quick career. We're going to take a quick break here and we'll jump right into the action.
Engines roar, the night's alive. Tires spin, we start to drive. Monday night, the stars collide. On the dirt where dreams reside. Round and round, the dirt flies high. Street stops racing, touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Heartbeats pound and gravel flies. In the dust where legends rise. No surrender, sparks will fly. On this track we testify. Tail to tail we never tire. Burning rubber, hearts on fire. Lap by lap we will inspire. Victory our one desire. Round and round the dirt flies high. Street stops racing, touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Blood and sweat mixed with the stars. In our souls these racing scars. Feel the rush, the endless bars. On this dirt track we are stars.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you came here for a show? Well, here you go. As we're going to get ready here for our Monday Night All-Stars. Our Monday Night All-Stars ready to rock and roll here this evening as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we get ready to set these drivers loose. We get ready to go green flag racing here for 60 laps at the beautiful racetrack here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Man, this is going to be a blast. This is going to be a ton of fun as these drivers are going to put on one absolutely amazing show for us. And here you go. Starting on the pole in our A main feature event, it is the 2020 ride of Philip Sexton. Philip Sexton will start here in that pole position. To his outside is the 9 ride of Corey Sibley. Starting in position number 3, the 71H, that is William Hargraves, and his outside is the 8 ride. It's T-Jack Tyler Jackson. Starting in position number 5 in the 32 is the Sunrise Racing ride of Jacob Stefanski. To his outside, that's the 54 of Jeremy Golba. Then we see Jeremy Akins, Matt Taylor there in row number 4. Jacob Sexton and Dakota Proud bringing up the end of our top 10 here in this feature event. Jason Zilmer, Dylan Simmons, Jim Revis, Steven Stefanski, Michael Olson, Charles Minders, Jackie Whaley in the 720 ride, Ryan Howard in the 4X, Evan Stefanski the 116, Cameron Stefanski the 2 ride, Russell Harold, Charles Davis bringing up the rear of the field here for our A main feature event as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Cedar Lake Speedway, and it's the 2020 of Philip Sexton who will lead us down the back straightaway into quarter number 3. Nice and easy out of quarter number 4, and Philip Sexton will lead lap number 1 here at Cedar Lake. Hargraves back there in position number 2, trying to work the inside lane here, trying to figure out a way to get up and around the Mad Dog himself, the Mad Dog chassis number 2020 ride, the Tommy Gun Customs machine out in front. Jacob Stefanski trying to work himself up into third here as he works to the inside. The 8 right of Tyler Jackson. Jackson trying to stay there in position number 4 and continue to look for more here as he works to the outside still of the 32. Unfortunately, that is the 32 right. Going to jump up and clear that 8 machine. Will we see a crossover coming out of that number 8 right down the back straightaway? He's going to take a peek down to the inside here of the 32 as we do see our outside pole sitter. That number 9 right, Corey Sibley sliding all the way back now to position number 5. Matt Taylor there in 6th with Dakota Proud up into 7th on the Speedway as Jeremy Akins and Steven Stefanski back there in 8th and 9th. And there you go, you see that number 2020, the other 2020 out there on the racetrack. It is the Cocky Floyd Consulting Sexton Paint and Body Dog House Chassis 2020 ride of Jacob Sexton rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Our pole sitter, the quickest in qualifying, the 9 ride of Michael Olson back here in 11th. He's got Jason Zilmer, Dylan Simmons, Jim Revis right there behind him. Jeremy Kolb unfortunately sliding all the way back here into that 15th position as he's already down 9 spots on the Speedway and trying to stop the bleeding here as he's battling hard door to door with the iRacing iFlag DWR number 57 of Jim Revis. Cameron Stefanski there in 16th as Jackie Whaley there in the 17th position, trying to work himself closer to the front of the field as Evan Stefanski rolling back there behind him. Charles Minders, Charles Davis, Ryan Howard, and Russell Harold rounding out our top 22 as we see our first caution flag going to fly. The 57 of Jim Revis goes for a loop here at a quarter number 2, and we see our first yellow flag fly here this evening. So Jim Revis in the iRacing iFlag DWR number 57 right, going to run into issues. It's down through quarter 1 and 2. They're 3 wide right here, getting down into quarter number 1. Down low, the 2 right with a big run. Gets up a little bit high right here, and unfortunately kind of just tail tags that 57 right. Let's take a look at it right here. You're going to get a great shot as it just comes up, tail tags the front end of the 57 right, and that just unfortunately loses the front end, and around goes Jim. Grumpy old man is not going to be happy about that one. It's definitely contact that could have been avoided right there. Unfortunately, the 2 right just gets up a little bit too high, getting in there a little bit too deep, and unfortunately for the DWR iRacing iFlag ride of Jim Revis, he's going to pay the price for that one as he will go to the rear of the field, and the 2 ride of Cameron Stefanski will join him for creating that caution flag. So we'll stack them up, rack them up, get ready to go back to green flag racing. Now a huge benefit to our race leader, Philip Sexton, here in this one. Philip will have that front row all to himself here. A Delaware file restart, so everyone back there behind him stacked up 2 by 2 by 2, but he's a lone wolf here on the front row as we go back to green flag racing. They're going to chase that iRacing pace truck right off the Speedway as Philip Sexton out in front, looking for some more big moves, looking to try to keep the rest of this field back there behind him as we got only 10 laps into this race. We got 50 laps of racing action left ahead of us. Lots of racing, lots of time to work yourself through the field. If you're a little farther back, you gotta be patient. You gotta make your mark here on the Speedway nice and easy without any incidents. You can't have any contact really with anybody out there. You create a caution flag, you get sent to the rear of the field. You gotta start all over again, so you gotta keep that nose clean. Keep yourself out of trouble here and try to work yourself in 1 car at a time to the front of the field. As right now we do see Jacob Stefanski working to the outside of William Hargraves. Jacob trying to work himself up into position number 2. We've seen this 32 ride pick up a win here in this series at Cedar Lake Speedway before. Will we see another one here for Jacob Stefanski this evening? But he's got a couple fast cats all around him, and this is exactly what our race leader Philip Sexton wants to see. As they battle back there for position number 2, he's able to open up a little bit more of a lead here, give himself a nice little cushion as they battle for position number 2. It's allowing him to run away here with this A main feature event. Jacob Stefanski there in the 32 ride in position number 2. Has Hargraves working down to his inside. Has the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson right there on his back bumper. But we see our second caution flag of the evening fly here in this one. So our second caution flag gonna be displayed, and it looks like Jim Wrapz may have been tied up in another one here. You see that 57 right turned around. We'll take another look at it and see if him and the two maybe getting together again. He gets tight right there and unfortunately goes around. I'm not sure if there was contact before that between him and the two machine. They were right there together. This is the second time that they've made some pretty good contact, and I think right there may have been what just sends the 57 right in there a little bit deeper than I think he was expecting, as they're going to make a little bit of contact. Let's see if we can get another look at this one. They do make a little bit of contact here between this 57 and the two right there. The two right gives him a shot into that left rear quarter panel. You see how wide that number 57 right gets. He tries to correct it, and as he does, it just pushes the car up the speedway. Now trying to stay out of the 50 right, trying to not go up into that outside groove and make contact with the Mazda Racing number 50 machine of Charles Davis. He's got to crank that wheel around, and unfortunately, as he does that, this car's just going to loop around and unfortunately down to the inside of the speedway here, and that will bring out our caution flag for the second time here this evening involving both of those drivers here. We'll take another look at it and see if we can get another shot at this one. Let's see if we can jump right on board here with this 57 right. See what he sees from the cockpit as he rolls down the back straightaway and into corner number 3. Wrapz right about here. There's the contact. See that wheel turn instantly hard to the left right there as he gets punted in there a little bit too far. Unfortunately, cannot get that car saved. Goes around as we go back to green flag racing out here on the speedway. I do believe that 57 right will get sent to the rear of the field here once again as these drivers are back to battle. We see more contact through the middle of the field. Jackie Whaley, one of those drivers, jacked up here on the nose of the 116 of Evan Stefanski. No caution flag, but we'll have to take a look back and see what happened here as Jackie Whaley in the 116 of Evan Stefanski get together right here. Contact right there sends that 720 right a little bit farther around. The 116 trying to stay out of him. Unfortunately, going to get into him again and then get shoved down into him. And then here comes that 54 of Jeremy Kolba into there as well. You'll see the 4X right to Ryan Howard, but you see Jackie Whaley jacked up, parked on top of the nose of Evan Stefanski. Both these drivers rolling together down the front straightaway. Unfortunately for both of these competitors, they stay tight together and they both go to the rear of the field here. No caution flag on the speedway. As out in front, continuing to lead this race, is Philip Sexton here at the front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. Philip Sexton out in front, but Hargraves in the Dirt Panda, Malum Electric, Bibs, Liquor, number 71, H-Ride, there in position number 2. T-Jack, Tyler Jackson, there in third as both the 71 and the 8-Ride have worked themselves around the number 32 of Jacob Stefanski. Stefanski in the Throttle Down Motorsports Sunrise Racing 32-Ride back into position number 4. And don't look now, because here comes our B main winner. Our B main winner here this evening is the 19 of Dakota Proud, now up and into position number 5 here on the speedway, already up 4 positions. And he's not done yet. He's looking to crack his way inside a podium run here this evening. And Matt Taylor with another good race here himself. Taylor right there in the 5.6 graphics number 15 machine. The beautiful looking Papa Mike Promotions Peacemaker Racing Team 618 engraving right out there on the speedway, currently scored in that 6th position as Corey Sibley right there behind him in the Team CFM Esports 9-Ride, and then Steven Stefanski, the Steve's Lawn Care Sunrise Racing number 15 there in the 8th position. Then we see Jeremy Akins back there in 9th, and the 9-Ride of Michael Olson rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway. Dylan Simmons there in position number 11 as Jacob Sexton right there working to his inside as Jacob Sexton there in position number 12. Jason Zilmer, Jeremy Kolba, Charles Minders, our top 15 here on the speedways. Cameron Stefanski, Ryan Howard, Jim Wrapz, Charles Davis, and Evan Stefanski rounding out our top 20. Russell Harrell, Jackie Whaley bringing up the rear of the field here as the 116 and the 720 ride both trying to recollect themselves after that contact down through quarter number 3 and 4 and down the front straightaway. Both drivers get to make up really any major ground on the racetrack as we do see a battle at the front of the field starting to brew. The battle at the front of the pack sees the 2020, the Mad Dog, the Tommy Gunn Customs number 2020 of Philip Sexton, continuing to lead the way as he's been the reflection of perfection here this evening, but he's got William Hargraves hounding and pounding his back bumper here on the Speedway. Tyler Jackson right there in position number 3. He's ready to strike when he needs to. If something happens between our top 2 drivers, he'll be there in an instant, trying to work himself into the front of the field as he rolls a little bit of a different line down through 1 and 2 compared to our race leaders. And that's making them start to change up their line here as well. A little bit more of a slide job lane starting to come in for these competitors. That will make things a little bit more single file here around the racetrack as T-Jack disappearing off the Speedway here for quite a little while. There he is. He finally pops back on. That could create issues for the drivers around him if he keeps having internet connection issues. As Jacob Sexton back there in position number 4 and looking for more. The Sunrise Racing number 32 ride looking to work himself back up into position number 2 here after falling down a couple spots since that restart, but still staying strong here in that 4th position is Dakota Proud rounding out our top 5. A heck of a drive so far for that Throttle Down Motorsports at number 19 machine. Taylor Sibley right there as well as Philip Sexton continuing to hold on to this race lead. The Mad Dog Racing 2020 ride out in front of the field here. But man, oh man, oh man, Hargraves has been right there on his back bumper lap after lap after lap, not letting him get that gap that he had there in the last run. That caution flag was the last thing that Philip Sexton wanted to see as he saw his almost 2-second lead evaporate here, and now brings his 71 ride and the 8 ride of Tyler Jackson right back to his rear bumper. Both drivers within striking distance, but Sexton doing a great job just hitting his marks, not making any mistakes, keeping himself pointed in the right direction. But sometimes you can do everything perfect and still lose a race out there on the Speedway, and right now we see 2 drivers duking it out here at the front of the field. Hargraves down low, looking to try to make some moves here, looking to try to work himself up and into our top spot on the Speedway, but Philip Sexton never faltering, never making a mistake, and keeping himself here at the front of the field. As Hargraves there in second seat, Tyler Jackson, the Alpha Shark, chilling there in position number 3. We start to see a little bit of a battle brewing here for position number 4 on the racetrack as the 19 ride of Dakota Proud was looking to try to jump up and take position number 4 away. Gets up into the outside fence. That's going to open up the door for the 9 of Corey Sibley to work himself back inside the top 5. So Corey Sibley now back into that 5th position. He's going to be looking to try to hunt down the rest of these drivers, maybe take it a little bit safer, trying to save a little bit of tire for later in this race, and now using that extra tire up right now for that 9 ride, may be able to put on a run towards the front of the field. It's Matt Taylor back there in that 7th position. He's probably trying to save a little tire here himself, waiting to pounce, waiting to make some moves here, but these drivers are starting to run out of time. As lap by lap by lap, we get closer and closer to our checker flag is down across the line. We see 20 laps of racing action left here in this one. 20 laps of racing left here this evening, and if anyone's wondering what happened to Jeremy Sexton, I don't know. I was kind of thinking to myself, there's someone missing. We're actually missing 2 drivers here out of this feature event. I haven't really clicked in to who that other driver is, but I'm pretty positive. No, we had 23 cars. So Jeremy Sexton, I'm not sure if he lost internet connection or ran into any type of other issues, but we do see a new race leader here this evening. Tyler Jackson gonna go to the point. T-Jack out in front here as Tyler Jackson takes this race lead away. Look at the moves that this 8 ride starting to make down low as he's gonna complete this pass and take the lead away from the 2020 of Philip Sexton. Just working that inside groove as the outside lane starts to fade away. He goes for that big bit of a slide jump right in front of our race leader. The 2020 gets up into the outside wall ever so slightly. Both drivers keep their car pointed in the right direction, but we get a new race leader here in this one with less than 20 laps of racing action here tonight. It is Tyler Jackson, T-Jack, to the front of the field. Hargraves there in position number 2 once again as he works to the outside of the 2020 of Philip Sexton, and slowly but surely you see this Team CFM Esports number 9 ride of Corey Sibley working himself to the front of the field. Sibley right here in position number 4 and looking for Morris Dakota Proud back there in the 5th position. Jacob Stefanski back there in position number 6 with Matt Taylor, Steven Stefanski, Dylan Simmons, and Michael Olsen rounding out our top 10. Olsen, though, has Jeremy Aikens working down to his inside. Right there behind them in that 12th position is the 2020 of Jacob Sexton. Then we see Ryan Howard, Charles Minders, and Jason Zilmer rounding out our top 15 here on the Speedway. But it's all T-Jack late in this race, but he may have his hands full as the 9 rider Corey Sibley slowly but surely working himself back up and through our top 5. He's now into position number 3. He's working to the inside of Hargraves for position number 2. As these drivers are putting on a great show and a great race here in this one as T-Jack leads the way. I get you, Jeremy. That's a tough break right there, brother. That's a tough break for you. And I did not know that, but I can't talk too much on it. I don't know the circumstances or the reasoning really behind it, so I can't say too much on the fact, but we missed seeing you out there on the Speedway. I thought something looked a little messed up there as we see some contact back there behind our race leader, and the caution flag will be thrown here. Not for Corey Sibley and the 71 of William Hargraves, as they were beating and banging here down through corner 1 and 2. They were duking it out for that second spot here on the racetrack. Some pretty good contact between those two competitors, but that is not our caution flag. You see that 54 rider Jeremy Colba turned around. We'll take a look and see what happens here to the 54 ride as he had a great heat race. Started close to the front of the field, and you see Jim Revis. Jim unfortunately getting tied up in another one here on the racetrack. I'm not sure if Jim ends up getting just stuffed into the wall or if he gets up and into the fence here himself. We'll take another angle at this one and see if we can get a good look here on what happens to Jim Revis as the iRacing iFlag DWR JRE machine up and out of corner number 2 here. It looks like he's going to get up and pancakes the outside fence here in corner number 2. And as he does, Jeremy Colba trying to get down and out of the way. He's going to get some contact there with them. He's going to go around and into the infield here, and that's what will bring out our caution flag here once again this evening. So a late race caution flag will stack things up and make things interesting here at the front of the field. As Tyler Jackson trying to hang on to this race lead, will now see the hard charger late in this race. Corey Sibley right there in his rear view mirror. Hargraves there in 3rd, Philip Sexton there in 4th, and Dakota Proud rounding out our top 5 is down through corner number 3. And out at corner number 4, we'll see the green flag back out into the air with 8 more laps left to go here this evening. Only 8 more laps of racing action, and T-Jack's going to lead us down the back straightaway, down nice and easy through corner number 3 and out at corner number 4. He'll click off another one as they're 2 wide. Back there for position number 3, Philip Sexton trying to work himself up and onto the podium as Corey Sibley has cleared that 71H of William Hargraves. Hargraves working the bottom lane still here in the 71H, but a big run coming down low for Philip Sexton. Philip trying to work himself back up and inside the top 3 after leading so many laps early in this race. And here comes Dakota Proud, Jacob Stefanski, Matt Taylor right here into the picture as well as they're trying to work themselves inside the top 5. You see Stefanski working to the inside here of Dakota Proud out there on the Speedway, but as these drivers continue to battle out in front, Tyler Jackson looking to continue to open up more and more of a lead out here on the Speedway. T-Jack out in in front, looking to pick up the dub here this evening as he opens up a 0.6 of a second between himself and Corey Sibley. About 4-5 car lengths down the back straightaway between the 8 and the 9 here on the Speedways. Hargraves sitting solidly now into position number 3 as the Mad Dog trying to hang on to position number 4, Dakota Proud. Might have been able to jump up and take that 4th spot away from him as we see another late race caution flag. Oh, baby, ladies and gentlemen, you came here for a show. Well, here you go. Late race caution flag. Line this one up for a short dash for cash here to the start-finish line. And that checkered flag as we'll take a look. The 344 ride unfortunately gets up, rear ends the outside fence, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Unfortunately, that car pretty sideways up and out of corner number 2 here, and it looks like the 2 ride of Cameron Stefanski gonna get a piece of him here as the 344, he sent it in there deep. He did not hold off on not trying to knock down this outside fence. Unfortunately, that thing is made out of a lot of concrete and it does not move, and he finds out the rough ways. He gets up, pancakes it, gets kind of stuck into that fence, and as he tries to pull the car off the speedway, see this car going completely sideways here. He's able to maybe save it, but unfortunately, as he's spinning sideways, no forward trajectory on that number 344 ride. The 2 machine really just nowhere to go as he was just a sit and duck right there. Unfortunately, gets a big piece of this 344 ride. Helps him go around here as not sure if he was going to be able to save it or if he would have went around no matter what, even without that contact. It's a tough break there for Jason Zilmer as we go back to green flag racing. The green flag quickly back out into the air here at Cedar Lake as Tyler Jackson looking to try to pick up the checkered flag here this evening with only 3 more laps left to go as down through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. They're going to see the twin stakes from our flagman. 2 more laps of racing action here from Cedar Lake Speedway with the Monday Night All-Stars powered by Dirt Glass Super Street Series. T-Jack out in front, down and through quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. He'll see that white flag fly one more time around here for Tyler Jackson as the Majula State Speed Shop, Sweet Victory Apparel, Black Diamond Mafia number 8 ride for the final time here this evening. Down into quarter number 3 and out of quarter number 4. It's Tyler Jackson picking up the win here at Cedar Lake. Corey Sibley coming home in second. William Hargraves in that 3rd and final podium position here this evening as we see Dakota Proud, Philip Sexton, Jacob Stefanski, Dylan Simmons, Matt Taylor, Steven Stefanski, and Jeremy Akins are top 10 here on the Speedway. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the action is not done yet as we'll see our top 3 head down to the front straightaway, get ready for their photo op and post-race interviews down the back straightaway. These drivers are going to get ready for a demolition derby. They're going to duke it out. They're going to beat and bang and battle down here on the back straightaway of Cedar Lake Speedway. Look at these drivers trying to set themselves up here for a bit of a clash back here on the back stretch. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch these drivers duke it out here, man. These guys are going to put on a hell of a show here in this little bit of a battle. We're going to try to keep an eye on it here through outpost race interviews. We already see drivers up and into the air, drivers bouncing around, looking for some big hits out there on the Speedway. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get a huge congratulations up in the chat for Tyler Jackson picking up the win. Corey Sibley with a great run there in second, and William Hargraves coming home in position number 3. As we'll get ready to pull our top 3 up into the booth. You get a great look here at these drivers doing the demolition derby down on the back straightaway. Each and every one of them working out their frustration from this feature event. Anything that may have went right or may have went wrong, they can kind of work it out here amongst themselves on the back stretch. We do see one driver upside down. That's the 09er Russell Harold already upside down here. He's getting bounced around the 50 right. Charles Davis in there as well, as these guys are going to continue to just bounce around and beat and bang off each other here all evening long on the back straightaway. It'll be a lot of fun to watch this here as we get ready for our post-race interviews. Is down waiting pit side. Here is our race winner. We'll have to wait and see if we can get him up here. He should be in the booth, as I do see Hargraves in there. There's Tyler Jackson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Tyler Jackson, as T-Jack picks up the win and pulls himself up into victory lane. We'll pull him into the broadcast booth. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth to get a copy.
Hey, what's up, Aaron?
Not much, T-Jack, man. What a run, what a race, man. Take us back through this one, as it seemed like you were just kind of biding your time, being patient, still running some great fast lap times, though, up and inside the top 3 for most of this evening. And then, you know, around that lap 20 marker, you started to put the moves on. You started to put the throttle down a little bit sooner, roll in the inside lane, and slowly but surely you work yourself down low and around William Hargraves. Then you go after Philip Sexton, and you take that top spot away. From that point on, you never looked back, as you were able to drive home to victory here again in the Dirt Clash Super Street Series Monday Night All-Stars here at Cedar Lake Speedway.
Yeah, man, it was a good night. Qualifying was super tight. I don't know if you looked at the standings, but like I think first to like 17th was 2/10. That's really, really tight for this league. So we were lucky, really lucky we got any. I mean, one mistake and I wouldn't have got any qualifying points at all. So we were lucky there. And then yeah, our heat, you know, just kind of rode around, was checking up a lot. Those guys were getting kind of wild in front of me and just didn't want to spin anybody out. So we ended up second, and then you know, that put us in I think we were going to start 5th, and then there was a DQ call, so we started 4th. But yeah, I mean, this place, I really usually hate it with the street stocks. It's usually always one lane. It goes from middle to top 1 and 2, slider line 3 and 4. And so my plan was just to save tires and wait till those guys burn their stuff up. But actually, when I started saving tires, running kind of that slider line or half slider in 1 and 2, and then eventually just going to the bottom in both corners, I really wasn't losing any time on them. So I figured, well, I'll just stay down there because you're just putting along on the throttle. And yeah, I actually started making up some ground. And I know those two guys, or at least William, I know William drives hard every lap. So I knew they were probably using their stuff up, and it was just a matter of time before we could get by them. And hopefully I didn't slide that 20 too bad. I don't know how close we were on 1 and 2 there. So thanks for him for not dumping me. But yeah, once we got the lead, then still tried to conserve a little bit, but then you know, it was 10-9 to go, and we started putting the hammer down and getting a good gap, and then we got that caution with 4 to go, and I was just hoping I didn't burn everything up that I earned. But yeah, at the end there was kind of fun. There was a middle line of brown right in 1 and 2 that I was trying to run the right rear in, and then just kind of slider 3 and 4, and I don't think anybody could have passed me running that line, no matter how fast they were. It got pretty one lane at the end.
Absolutely, definitely got a little bit one lane out there on the speedway. Really opened up the door for a couple slide jobs late in this race by a few of the drivers working themselves up and through the field here. And one of those drivers that we saw starting to work themselves up and around the same time as you were. You know, he kind of started towards the front of the field, slid back ever so slightly, and then all of a sudden, as you were taking the race lead, he was working himself back up and through the top 10 and through the top 5. And that's that 9 right of Corey Sibley. Sibley seemed like he was saving a lot of time here throughout this race, and as he got up into position number 2, and we see a couple of those late race caution flags, we're getting a little nervous there with that 9 ride, maybe with a little fresher tires than yourself there in that second spot.
Yeah, when we first racing there, it was tight up front. I kept checking up for Jacob in 1 and 2. He was entering a lot lower than I was. I was entering the top, but he'd slide up, and man, I was just completely off the throttle and in the brakes. I was just hoping I wasn't gonna get turned around from the back. But yeah, and then one time coming out of 4, William slid up, and his left rear his right rear made contact with my left front, and we kind of hit, and then he hit Jacob. I was just hoping all 3 of us didn't go around. But yeah, at the end when I saw it was Sibley, that's probably the last guy I wanted, because the way he dropped back, I figured he was probably saving some tire too. I would have rather had one of the other 2 guys that was running hard. But I don't know, as long as you hit your marks, I thought we're going to be all right. And then I really think I threw him off starting on the bottom there in that last restart. It didn't seem like he was up on me. I don't know if he didn't know what I was doing or what, but can't give him the same restart every time, because they'll still capitalize on it.
Absolutely, got to keep them guessing there late in these races, trying to keep them a little flat-footed out there for these restarts. But T-Jack, you're able to put yourself up here and into victory lane, brother. Who would you like to thank for such a great run, strong drive, and great performance here on the evening?
Yeah, all the guys at Black Diamond Mafia, CFM Esports, Majulse Speed Shop, shopfergie22.com, 5.6 Graphics, still rocking the Bloomer scheme. Got some new wheel covers coming here maybe next week, so we'll have some pretty cool wheel covers on the right side. We're getting a couple different sets, and then Logan Speed Shots. Congrats to the top 3. Thank you for the broadcast, and thanks to all the admin team for putting up with us. I know they had a rough week with tickets and all that this week, but hopefully they know we still appreciate it, and we'll keep coming back.
Absolutely, brother, and we look forward to seeing you guys out here on the racetrack for all these amazing Monday night all-star races. There's only a few more left to go here in here in the season, man. And I know you came into this race with that points lead. How big is this win, points-wise here for you, as you're able to extend maybe that points lead a little bit more over Corey Sibley and Hargraves and the rest of these competitors?
Oh, it's huge that that gap from first to second is 10 points. And then if you look how they do the scoring system, I think from 10th to 20th is 1 point apiece. So that's 10 points. So by winning these races, you're gaining 10 points on a guy. So it's important to get the wins. I like it when they reward you for winning. I think this might be number 4. I'm not sure, but yeah, we got Evolution next week. Really can't stand that place. And then Lincoln, I think, will be really good at Lincoln. I really like that track. That's a lot of fun. And then Knoxville, I'm hit or miss there. It depends on where the groove goes. But I think as long as we can keep it straight, not make any dumb mistakes, and keep qualifying well, I think we're going to be all right.
Absolutely, brother. Well, we look forward to seeing how it all plays out, and hopefully we'll see you up here in the broadcast booth a few more times here before the end of this season. Tyler, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the great run here tonight, brother, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here next week.
And I got to thank my parents. They tune in every week, and I always forget to tell them I appreciate it. So hopefully they're watching, and hopefully they're happy.
Absolutely, brother. Can't forget them. Got to shout them out as well, brother. You can't miss your parents. Come on now.
I know they haven't been paying any money, so they don't get many shout outs.
Well, Mama and Papa Jackson, you guys got to throw them a couple bucks here or there, keep them happy, and get your shout outs out there. As Tyler, congrats on the great run, congrats on the win, and we look forward to seeing you back out there next Monday.
All right, thank you.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Tyler Jackson as T-Jack picking up the win here this evening, parking the 822 up into victory lane. Well, the 8 ride here this evening, kind of change of a number, but the 8 ride of T-Jack here in that top spot this evening, as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the number 9 rider, Corey Sibley. Sibley coming home here in position number 2. We'll get ready to pull him up into the broadcast booth here himself. Hey, Corey, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. You get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Corey, man, a good race, a good run here for you. We saw you start there to the outside of the front row, and instantly seemed like you were, saving a little bit of tire, keeping your equipment safe here for late in this race, and that's exactly what we saw. You slid back to about that, 6th, 7th, 8th position for a little while, kind of just hanging out there, really not pushing that car until about 20 laps left to go. All of a sudden, we start to see you click them off. You get around Matt Taylor, Dylan Simmons, and you go around, Dakota Proud, and then Jacob Stefanski. And all of a sudden, here you are, battling up inside the top 3. You get around Hargraves after a hard-fought battle there with the 71H ride, and all of a sudden, we see a couple caution flags. And it opens up the door here for you to maybe find that groove, maybe find a way to get around Tyler Jackson. But late in this race, just no mistakes out of that 8 ride and no open doors for you to be able to work yourself into the top spot here this evening.
Yeah, it wasn't my original plan. I went into turn 1 and the car bottomed out, and I went instantly from like 2nd to 5th. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm hanging out a little bit. And then, yeah, like you said, I got down on the bottom. I was actually worried I was going to take my left front off a couple times because I started clipping the tires. I was getting so low, but no, I was trying my best to stay smart, let the track start to slicken off and widen out, because this is one of those tracks where when it gets reset to 0, it is tough to pass anybody. So I was just trying to be smart, trying to bide my time, and then once I found that middle line in 1 and 2, I started picking them off one by one, and that the end, Tyler started to run the exact same line I was. I was like, there's even if I catch him, I don't think I was going to get around him. So after the last 2 weeks I had, I'm really happy with second.
Absolutely, definitely always a good night when you were able to jump out here and keep, 20 of the other best drivers here in these Third Street Sucks back there behind you as you get a great run and a great performance here on another Monday Night All-Stars race. You have to settle in for position number 2, though. What do you think you might have needed? Is it track conditions, maybe a little bit something different with the handling of the race car that you might have been able to find a way around Tyler Jackson?
I think it just, if I could have, I want to say if I didn't screw up on lap 1 and maybe just been able to race next to everybody, I wouldn't have had such a deficit. But I just think once the track conditions got where they were, and I think he was running the bottom when I first got out to second, and then after that, second to last restart, he started running the middle of 1 and 2, which is where I was making all my ground. Even I could gain on him just a little bit, but I was breaking even in 3 and 4. So I think it was just timing, and I mean, track conditions. I guess it's Cedar Lake. It's not an easy track at all to pass on.
Absolutely, but we do see you make some passes and work yourself back up here into position number 2 after a great night and a hard-fought battle there with the 71H of William Hargraves. Corey, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, I want to thank Bowman Designs. He makes a killer wrap. Like I say every time, it adds like 10 extra horsepower when you look good, so you got to call the guy up. Dirty Rhino Welding, that's my own personal shop. CFM Esports, yeah, I'm one of their factory drivers. If you use code Sibley, you get 15% off. My wife, she supports me every week. Got a couple buddies, Jim and Charlie, who normally watch. It's always nice to have someone in the crowd rooting for you. Then thanks for you for putting on the league. Thanks for the admins, because I know they had a bunch of crap from last week that they had to deal with, and I'm glad they were able to get it taken care of without too many hurt feelings. And yeah, just thanks for everyone watching, and that sounds like about it.
Beauty, well, Corey, a great run and a great race, and yeah, as he said, man, the admin crew definitely had their work cut out for them last Monday, and I was in the drivers meeting before the race there for a little bit, and I heard the earful that everyone got there from Dustin Benton, but man, it was it was pretty wild listening in on one of those and hearing what he had to say and trying to make everything a little bit better. And here tonight in this feature event, seemed like things were pretty cleaned up. Only a few caution flags for 1 or 2 car incidences out there on the speedway, and just a lot of good hard-fought racing out there on the racetrack. And you almost fought yourself right up here in a victory lane, but a solid podium run here as you park that 9 right in position number 2. Corey, congratulations on the great run. We can't wait to see you back out here on the racetrack in the next one.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Corey Sibley. As Corey coming home here in position number 2. A great run and a great drive there for the number 9 ride. As we'll get ready to pull our 3rd place finisher up here into the booth. Our 3rd place driver, the 71H's William Hargraves, with a great run and a great drive here this evening as he comes home in position number 3. We'll pull him up into the broadcast booth. Hey, Will, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
I got you, Aaron. How are you?
Not too bad. Will, man, another good run, another good race here for you. We saw you battling hard for every single lap of this race out there on the speedway here. All 60 laps seemed like you were, elbows up, duking it out there with somebody, whether it was, that 2020 ride of Philip Sexton or Jacob Stefanski, Corey Sibley, Tyler Jackson, any one of these guys that seemed to get up there towards you. It seemed like you guys were fighting pretty hard out there on the racetrack for track position, and you almost got that top spot a couple times. Unfortunately, could just never get that extra couple inches that you needed, and unfortunately, here late in this one, seeing Sibley with a little bit, cleaner tires, able to work himself up into position number 2, and seeing T-Jack run away with this one. I'm sure you were hoping for a change of events and hoping to see yourself up here in victory lane, but you can't be too upset coming home behind those 2 great drivers and coming home still with a solid 3rd place run.
Yeah, man, we'll take 3rd tonight. I maybe could have done a few things different, but I tried way too early to try to get the lead, and I used up my stuff. And Sexton there, he was just too tough to. I mean, I was getting really good runs on him for a long time in 1 and 2. I could really like push him down the straightaway even, and then but I couldn't get that pass on him, and I used up my stuff so hard, and then I don't know, I'm not really sure. A couple times there, it was like it seemed like 3 4 times almost like within 2 laps. I don't know if he hit the wall and hit the brake or something, but I really think I had to check up for him. And then Tyler got up in there, and then I was like, oh boy, here we go. So it's just I had already used up my stuff by that point, so it's kind of just a hang on type of thing. And Cedar Lake is one of those tracks that when the track gets that slick like that, it's tough to pass in the tacky. So when it's slick like that, it's tough to pass as well. So I was just kind of hoping, honestly, I was hoping to hang on a second, but I seen Corey coming, and I kind of figured he was going to get me, and then he did get me, and then I was like, all right, well, let's just at least hang on to third and finish strong, and that's how it worked out for us tonight. So overall, good night for us.
Absolutely a good night and a lot of battling out there on the racetrack, putting on a show for all the fans in the stands here this evening. As you pull yourself up onto the podium here, Will. Another great run, another great drive for yourself. Who would you like to thank for such a strong performance here this evening?
Yeah, I'm going to start off tonight by thanking Dustin and all the admins for all their hard work and time and effort, and for everything they do. Apparently, they've been going through some hell with trying to have a little bit of fun on Monday nights, and as we know, racing getting people's feelings sometimes, but we have to learn how to control it and our reactions and stuff as well. So I just want to thank them guys for everything they do and all the hours they put into it. And I got to thank you, Aaron, for doing a kick-ass broadcast as always. I got to thank Joyride Designs, my Dirt Panda Racing teammates, Melm Electric Motorsales.com, Viv's Liquor. Shout out to Billy and Viv for watching tonight that I know of, and hopefully we see Billy back on the track here pretty soon, man. I tell you, it's been a while since we've seen him, and we're missing him.
Absolutely, brother. It's been a while since we saw that Joyride ride out there on the Speedway, and it'd be nice to see him back out here maybe before the end of this series and back up here, behind the wheel and battling with all these drivers, having fun out there on the dirt track again. I'm sure, he's going to need to knock off the rust and everything else, so I'm sure it'll be a little bit of a relearning experience for him to get back into form here and duke it out with you guys here for wins in the Monday Night All-Stars or Friday Night Lights or any of these other dirt street stock races that we see you guys in.
Yeah, for sure. Billy, he's pretty smart. It's kind of like riding a bike for him. He'll be right back into it.
Without a doubt. I'm sure it won't take long for us to see him back up here battling at the front of the field like you were here tonight, Will. Congratulations again on the solid third place run, and we can't wait to see you back out here, whether or not it's Friday night for the Friday Night Lights or next Monday for our next race here at the Monday Night All-Stars.
Sure, Aaron. Appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and congratulations again on the third place run.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Mr. William Hargraves. As Hargraves comes home here in position number 3 after a great run and a solid drive all night long out of that number 71 machine. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, unfortunately, that will do it for us here on the evening. I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, everyone showing the love here all evening long. I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in and showing the love. All the likes, the comments, the shares, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in and showing the love here in this one. Any of the new followers, any of the new subscribers, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Welcome to the Peacemaker crew here this evening, and we can't wait to see you up here in the community showing the love and enjoying some amazing racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming. Unfortunately, that will do it for festivities here this evening for the Monday Night All-Stars powered by the Dirt Clash Super Street Series. We give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors here in the series and all of these drivers showing up and showing out here this evening. We can't wait to see them back on track here next Monday evening. But thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out for now, babe. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Engines roar, the night's alive. Tires spin, we start to drive. Monday night, the stars collide. On the dirt where dreams reside. Round and round, the dirt flies high. Street stops racing, touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Heartbeats pound and gravel flies. In the dust where legends rise. No surrender, sparks will fly. On this track we testify. Tail to tail we never tire. Burning rubber, hearts on fire. Lap by lap we will inspire. Victory our one desire. Round and round the dirt flies high. Street stops racing, touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Mud and sweat mixed with the scars. In our souls these racing scars. Feel the rush, the endless bars. On this dirt track we are stars. Engines roar, the night's alive. Tires spin, we start to drive. Monday night, the stars collide. On the dirt where dreams reside. Round and round, the dirt flies high. Street stops racing, touch the sky. Arresting glory, all our might. Chasing dreams on Monday night. Heartbeats pound and gravel flies. In the dust where legends rise. No surrender, sparks will fly. On this track we testify.